All right, good evening, everybody. A little daily brew at night, PM edition. Welcome. We did not announce this. We did send out a text to our Cat 5s and our brew crewers. Wasn't sure what time I was going to be able to go live, but I just want to catch everybody up to what's going on with Beryl. And I don't know if it's me or not, but I think I'm about burned out of Beryl. I swear we've been talking about this storm for a month, it seems like. It's crazy. I'm just tired of it. No more. So I don't have comments on. Apologize. We're just going to go right into the chit chat. I know you got a million questions. Hopefully I answer them by my little presentation here. I just want to get everybody up to speed, up to date. Remember, I'm not a meteorologist. 100% check the National Hurricane Center, your local meteorologist. This is when you need to really, listen to who you trust. And if you trust me, awesome. If I scare you, you think I hype, then awesome. But that's just who I am, what I do. But I got some graphics up here. I want to catch you up to speed on the whole thing today. We got Beryl that's making its way towards Texas now. It looks pretty healthy on visible satellite. It really does. Yeah, it does. I mean, it does. It doesn't look very good underneath it, and there's been some dry air wrapping around it. I did a lot of posts about that today, so I'm not going to show you. Currently, the dry air is disappearing a little bit. You don't see it like we did earlier, and it's starting to build its own little moisture bubble. So it is getting a little stronger. We've had constant bursts of convection. This is what the models predicted. Very high 990 millibar system throughout the day into tonight. Now we're seeing pressures drop. Not good. I will tell you right now, not good. And I will show you why. Another look here. We got these bursts of convection, and they'll cool down a little bit. Then we'll get another one. That's just been the pattern all day. It is going northwest, even though it looks like it's a little wind shear. But that's not the prettiest little guy on the planet or gal but it's coming. Here's what's happening throughout the day. So your lower level winds are very strong. That's my little Cape Verde seed, I call it, man. And that 850 is doing amazing. What we had earlier today, we went over to 500. We didn't have much of a circulation in 500 millibar, but it's starting to come together. And once these start to stack, vertically stack, we could have a system that starts to intensify, and that's what you don't want to see. But we go to 700 millibar, it's looking pretty healthy. 850, 700 lining up. So that's kind of what the stages are of a redeveloping system here, is a 500, 800, 50, 700 millibar, 1,000 surface flow. All of it, starts to line up. And that's kind of what we're seeing. So that's a lot of chitter chatter about that. It's happening. Water temperature. So when this thing left the Yucatan, we have some shallow shelf. And it's out of that now. So it's starting to venture into some of these warm waters. And we do have anomaly map here on Tropical Tidbits. This is kind of where some people are a little concerned about a last-second intensification. I keep comparing the storm to a Hurricane Sally. We're seeing modeling say the last 12 hours, this thing might just really go deep and start to intensify. And that's the point of... I wanted to go live tonight to show you what's official and then show you what the models are saying could happen, so nobody's caught off guard on a holiday weekend. But anyway, it's leaning, it is leaning. It's heading towards these above normal waters, and they're way above normal. So 2-3 degrees. We saw what these above water temperatures did for Beryl in the Caribbean, and it's kind of got that here last second. We also have something else called a loop eddy, and I talk about these all the time, but it is a warm patch of water that fuels developing systems. It's extra hot water deep below the surface. These are thousands of feet deep sometimes of warm water. So you'll hear about a loop. If this thing intensifies rapidly, then you'll be hearing about a loop eddy, and it's going to be going over that one right there. Hurricane hunters are out there right now. This is on tropicaltidbits.com. They just found 996. I think they just had a drop zone of 994, so the pressures are dropping, indicating this thing is starting to try and develop. Officially, here's your last track. We get a new track in about an hour and a half. Be 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. No big changes. The H is a little deceiving on the coastline. They're showing 85 miles an hour, but it's still got a ways to go before the coast. And I always wish that they would put a landfalling speed estimate, because when you have a developing hurricane, it says 85 here, but it's kind of letting you know if these models are right, it might really get going a little bit more before it makes landfall. But anyway, this is the official hurricane as it progresses, and it's going to be a tropical storm pretty deep. So don't get stuck on this coastal effects. We get a tropical storm well inland. A deepening, developing hurricane will take longer to weaken, and we'll see, I'll show you that here with some individual model runs. So not just a coastal event. This thing is going to be bringing storms and heavy rains well inland, and it might definitely bring some into Arkansas and even Louisiana. And I'm going to show you some latest Storm Prediction Center outlooks. So winds are 60, slowed down quite a bit, 13 miles an hour. Here's that speed progression, 60, 65, 75, 85, and then the unknown is from 85 into inland. And I think now they're giving you that idea that this probably going to end up getting bumped up even more. We got to worry about. So we'll see what they say at 11, but I'm going to show you some modeling here that could be a lot more than that. That's what the point is. Storm surge maps, I have these on my website. Remember, it's Mike's Weather Page Spaghetti Models. They have raised the, I don't know why they didn't change. I like the colors from last year better. But anyway, 4 to 6 foot now for a large area, 4 to 6 feet. That's surge, 3 to 5 feet on both sides. So storm surge warnings for sure. And that's a large area. They're expecting some of these storm surge. Another map that I have on my site is the rainfall totals, and we're looking at double-digit rains as this thing makes inland. Could be close to double-digit rains all the way up through Arkansas here. So lots of rain to come from this. This is not a Harvey. Remember, Harvey stalled. Harvey stopped. Harvey was a Cat 4. Harvey didn't have anywhere to go. It just sat there, dumped 30, 40, 50 inches of rain. This doesn't look like that's going to happen. We have high pressure. We have an opening. We have a front. Harvey had a big old high pressure blocking. There was nowhere to go. We actually have a curve here coming, so it could be like a Harvey, but not a Harvey. Times stamps. Believe it or not, you're going to start getting Sunday 2 p.m. You'll start getting tropical storm force winds along the coastline, all the way into Louisiana, because we're going to have squall lines. We're going to have feeder bands wrapping towards Louisiana. So by Sunday, tomorrow, we're going to start seeing tropical storm force winds reaching the coastline. Even though the storm's going to be out here somewhere, tomorrow afternoon we'll start seeing tropical storm force winds. Storm Prediction Center outlook. So we talk about this a lot. No matter where the landfall's at, we're going to have a lot of eastern side storms. All right, this is Sunday. Storm Prediction Center already showing this. We're probably going to have a tornado watch in a large area along the coast here. And most of this is east of center, because our spiraling storms will wrap around counterclockwise and bring in a lot of juice from the Gulf inland. When our system wraps around this way, there's a lot of dry air and land, so they're not very strong coming in from the backside. So most of the strong stuff is on the right. Now, of course, wherever the center goes, it's always strong, but you get a lot more on the east side. Now, this could go through the night tomorrow, depending on where these little feeder bands set up, into Monday. Here's Monday, stretching into Louisiana and Houston. So that's not a direct landfall, but we can see some nasty storms from this as our system starts to curve, and the east side is the rough side. All right, so where's it going? Trouble tidbits. There you go. Modeling, this is what we see. We see it typical shifts in one direction over time. Then they kind of come back, and then they kind of come back. They start making smaller adjustments. The lines are getting tighter. Obviously, there's a very good likelihood this is where the center of the storm is going to go. Not the effects, but the center. So if we do get a little stronger system and it pulls to the north, there'll be a lot more effects on the eastern part of Texas. But we're seeing tight consistency that this thing's going to wrap around that high pressure system. And again, you're going to have winds. You're going to have tropical storm force winds well inland from this thing. Tropical intensity. So we're not seeing anything officially over a 1. Officially. So there you go. Let's hope that pans out. However, one more set of modeling here, then I'm going to show you the latest high-resolution models. But you can see here on the latest Euro here on weathernerds.org, your intensity really kicks in here on final approach, and these colors are indicating intensity. So the theme of this is we're going to be watching this thing close. Everything's lining up. We got conditions becoming more favorable, and there's a lot of chatter about that online. All right, so let me show you these higher resolution models. These have done phenomenal with Beryl this season. These are on Tropical Tidbits. We'll start out with H-Wharf. I hate to show H-Wharf first. H-Wharf, believe it or not, has probably been the number one performing model as far as intensity for Beryl, and probably 1, 2, or 3 in track. So it's definitely worth showing you this latest H-Wharf. Now notice it initializes it at 997. Hurricane Hunters are lower than that. But watch what the H-Wharf does. These models take in all the surroundings, samples the atmosphere. It's looking at what it can do given what it's got right now. Sounds like a shirt. But unfortunately, through the night tonight, it starts to drop. This is right before sunup, 989 tomorrow. But then it really starts to drop it on approach. We go down to 968 millibar. And these are 10-meter winds. So that's pretty big winds. It's showing 86 knots on approach. 968. That's one model. Watch what happens, though. 966 inland. I can't stress enough. Developing storms in the past have more surge, and they have way more inland effects because they're intensifying on approach. And every one of these high resolution models are showing an intensifying hurricane. 966 would have to bump the intensity up at the 11 o'clock from the NHC. Now watch what happens, though. See how long it takes? This is Monday morning. Unfortunately, it looks like it might be right before daybreak. Right at daybreak, we're looking at the worst effects. So it could be surge coming in before sunrise Monday. But look at this, 970, 75, 82. This is Monday evening, 988. So it takes a while for this to weaken. All right, let's look at some other models. Another good one is Half A. It's another high-intensity model, initialized at 998. And this is what it does through the night. Tomorrow morning, 995. Doesn't look that healthy in the morning, but watch what happens. On approach, 973. I mean, in the last 6 hours, this thing ramps up. And again, 973. Those are pretty strong winds, saying 85 knots, 10 meter. Not necessarily a surface, but really close. And again, slow weakening inland effects. Deepening storms have stronger squall lines, and that's why we have the SPC Outlook talking about it. HMON has done incredibly well, and again, let's just show you the final result here. 85, 83, 78, 77. So again, 70s. So you get the idea. I mean, it's high confidence that this thing's gonna, here's 969, halves B. This one hasn't been doing too good, but it's the same idea. A rapidly dropping system. So tracks are pretty much in a range. It's not coming to Florida, but it's very important. I'll be up early with all the latest from overnight. Latest GFS even drops it, I believe, a little bit. Not as aggressive. 984 inland. GFS hasn't done a really good job. These intensity models have done a really good job with this model run. Here's the 12Z Euro. It brought it down to 979. Still pretty strong. But again, the Euro doesn't seem like it does the intensity very well. But hey, this thing is going to strengthen. So that's where we're at. Hurricane Hunters are going to be flying in and out of there all night long. I mean, there's really nothing at this point, any surprises. The winds are getting a little tighter to the center. If you notice, the moisture is starting to wrap around a little more around the core, so we're not seeing as much dry air coming into play. So it does look like it's getting a little bit stronger. So just want to come in here and give you an up to date. This is not a hurricane right now, but one thing I've heard over the years is a lot of folks turn off the news after they see it's only a tropical storm and they stop watching. If those models don't pan out, great. But man, I don't want anybody to be caught off guard with this thing potentially, becoming a little more stronger than what they think. So these models have been consistent. I've always believed in model consistency and seeing the environment changing and why it's changing. And there's a lot of chatter online about this happening. So 11 o'clock will be real important. If you're up now, you might as well wait up another hour and a half. Listen to the 11 o'clock NHC update. See if there's any tone change about this being a little stronger. Timing's still early Monday with, unfortunately it's going to be a pretty rocky Sunday night as these feeder bands start to roll in. I don't think the HRR does a really good job, but if we can get, I tell you what, let's just look at the, I got a good one here we can look at radar wise. We can look at H4 on the radar wise, just to kind of put it in play what it could look like throughout the day tomorrow. So, here's just kind of where we're at. This is Sunday morning. We can start to see squall lines here, southern part of Texas, and you can just see this is Sunday evening. Start to see squall lines. I tell you what, we can look at Levi's got Parent, which is a larger run, so you can see more land. And kind of, he doesn't have radar though, but oh well. Point of it is these feeder bands are going to be reaching all the way into Louisiana. So let's see what the HRR shows. Usually the little mesoscale models don't do too good with tropical systems, but we can at least get an idea if it's starting to pick up on it. So let's go to 00Z. It's already out 20 hours. Let's go 18Z. See, that kind of gives you the idea. This isn't an accurate model with track, but this is noon tomorrow. Remember it said 2 p.m. tomorrow? Well, look at that. This is afternoon tomorrow. We're already starting to see strong lines coming in tomorrow, Sunday. And these lines are going to be building out in the Gulf. And they're going to be getting very close to Louisiana throughout the day tomorrow. That's why SPC has level number 2 up. And there you go. These little squall lines could get sneaky. Could be tornadoes. We got a deepening tropical cyclone. Anytime you get tighter pressure gradients, you get a lot more wind. The seas are going to be tremendous out there. It's not surge, but I think we can go to the Gulf and see some. Let's see where. Oh, the HR doesn't do that. It's just the Euro. Well, we could still look at the Gulf of Mexico for waves. So here's your maximum wave map with the Euro, and that's just showing. This isn't surge, but this is tomorrow morning, and then overnight Monday is when the big stuff gets there. This is about midnight, 1-2 o'clock. And there's your big waves. So that's driving the surge, pushing towards the coast. That's 42-foot seas overnight into Monday morning. And the Euro's not showing it as strong as our other models. So if it's a little stronger, those waves are going to be even bigger. Yikes. All right, so listen, no chat tonight. That was a quick 20-minute update. I'll be live in the morning, normal time, 9:19 Eastern. It'll be a shorter one tomorrow. I got to leave the house at 10 to catch our flight, but I didn't want to let everybody down and not go live tomorrow. So we'll be rushing when we get there. but that's okay. I'll be posting all morning. The updates probably start hitting at about 5 in the morning when the NHC updates are 5 o'clock cone. And you can count on me. I'll make sure we get all the latest. Let you know what's going on. So official, forecast is number one. Number two, I would just keep in the back of your mind that we could be seeing a little something stronger at the last second. And, I put that last map on there showing the 4 models so you kind of get an idea, where they're at. So, all right, have a great evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I am going storm chasing, so watch for my channels tomorrow. Hopefully we're live about 3 o'clock Central Time. And we'll be heading southbound towards the water. And we'll see what we got. All right, have a great night. All right, bye-bye.